Welcome back to Narrative Network. What if the person you overlooked turned out to be the one who held the power to change everything? This is the incredible story of Grace, a humble cleaning lady who was mocked by wealthy executives, only to rise above them and deliver a shocking twist that no one saw coming. Her journey is one of resilience, courage, and a lesson in never underestimating the quiet strength of those around you. Stay until the end to witness the moment Grace turns the tables on the CEO and transforms an entire company. What do you think happens when kindness meets determination? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Let's dive into this unforgettable tale. Grace Evans was a woman of quiet dignity and relentless determination. As a single mother raising 2 children, she worked tirelessly as a cleaning lady in one of the city's largest corporate offices, Paramount Enterprises. Each day she scrubbed floors, emptied trash cans, and polished boardroom tables, while executives in expensive suits walked past her without so much as a glance. Grace had worked at Paramount Enterprises for over a decade. Despite the long hours and low pay, she took pride in her work. Knowing she was providing for her family, she believed that no job was beneath her and treated her duties with the same respect she would any other profession. What the employees at Paramount didn't know was that Grace was far more than the cleaning lady they overlooked. She was an intelligent, educated woman with a degree in business management, though life's hardships had forced her to take a different path. Paramount's CEO, Richard Carlton, was known for his arrogance and lack of empathy. To him, employees were numbers on a spreadsheet, and the cleaning staff were invisible. One day, while Grace was mopping the hallway outside the executive suite, she overheard Richard laughing with a group of junior executives. "You know," Richard said loudly, "if this company ever tanks, at least we know we'll have a backup plan. I can always join Grace here with a mop and bucket." The group erupted in laughter. Grace froze, gripping the mop handle tightly. She had endured subtle insults before, but hearing it from the CEO himself cut deeper than she expected. Later that day, the mockery continued. A few of the junior executives began leaving trash deliberately on the floor near Grace's station, laughing as they passed by. "You missed a spot," one of them sneered, tossing a crumpled paper in her direction. Though humiliated, Grace kept her composure. She repressed it to let their cruelty define her worth. One evening, after the office had emptied, Grace found herself lingering in the conference room. Her curiosity got the better of her, and she glanced at the financial reports left carelessly on the table. To her shock, she noticed glaring inconsistencies in the numbers. Her business education kicked in as she quickly analyzed the documents. "Something's not right," she murmured to herself. For weeks, she quietly observed patterns in the discarded reports and emails, left open on unattended computers. Grace discovered that Paramount's profits were being siphoned off into fake accounts, money laundering orchestrated by none other than Richard Carlton. Grace knew she couldn't ignore what she had uncovered. The stakes were too high, not just for her, but for the hard-working employees whose livelihoods depended on the company. But she also knew the risks of speaking out. Who would believe a cleaning lady over a powerful CEO? Confiding in her children, Grace shared her dilemma. Her eldest, Marcus, said, "Mom, you've always taught us to stand up for what's right. If anyone can do this, it's you." Encouraged by her son's words, Grace decided to gather more evidence before taking her findings to someone who could help. Over the next few weeks, she documented everything, photographing documents, recording conversations, and piecing together a comprehensive case against Richard. Grace reached out to an old college professor, Dr. Eleanor James, who now worked as a corporate ethics consultant. Eleanor was shocked by Grace's findings and agreed to help her present the evidence to the company's board of directors. On the day of the meeting, Grace walked into the boardroom, not with a mop, but with a folder full of damning evidence. The executives stared in disbelief as Grace, the woman they had dismissed as just the cleaning lady, laid out the corruption that had been festering under their noses. Richard Carlton, caught off guard, tried to dismiss her claims. "This is ridiculous. She's a cleaner. What does she know about corporate finance?" But Grace remained calm and presented undeniable proof. Bank statements, forged signatures, and email correspondence implicating Richard. The boardroom fell silent. The chairwoman of the board, Evelyn Harper, turned to Richard. "Is this true?" she demanded. Richard stammered, unable to refute the evidence. Within minutes, the board voted to remove him as CEO and launch a formal investigation. With Richard gone, the company faced a leadership crisis. Evelyn approached Grace privately after the meeting. "You've saved this company," she said. "Your bravery and insight are remarkable. Would you consider joining us in a more significant role?" Though hesitant at first, Grace agreed to take on an interim leadership position to help the company recover. She quickly proved herself capable, implementing ethical reforms and fostering a culture of respect and accountability. Her rise from cleaning lady to executive was met with both admiration and skepticism. Some employees struggled to accept her in her new role, but Grace handled their doubts with grace and professionalism, earning their trust over time. Under Grace's leadership, Paramount Enterprises underwent a profound transformation. She introduced mentorship programs, fair wage policies, and community outreach initiatives. She also created a scholarship fund for employees' children, ensuring they had access to education opportunities she had once struggled to afford. The toxic culture that Richard Carlton had fostered was replaced with one of inclusivity and empowerment. Grace's story inspired employees at all levels, proving that integrity and hard work could lead to extraordinary success. News of Grace's journey spread, garnering media attention and sparking discussions about workplace inequality. During an interview with a prominent news outlet, Grace shared her story. "When people mocked me, they saw only a cleaner," she said. "They didn't see a woman with dreams, skills, and determination. But my worth, and the worth of every worker, was never tied to my title. It's tied to the value I bring and the person I choose to be." Her words resonated with millions, making her a symbol of resilience and justice. Richard Carlton's trial became a high-profile case. With Grace's evidence, prosecutors were able to secure a conviction. He was sentenced to prison for fraud and embezzlement, his fall from grace serving as a cautionary tale for corrupt executives. Meanwhile, Paramount Enterprises continued to thrive under Grace's guidance. Employees who had once mocked her now admired and respected her, acknowledging the profound impact she had made. Years later, Grace retired from her position as CEO but remained an influential figure in the corporate world. She founded the Grace Evans Initiative, a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering underrepresented individuals in the workforce. Her children, inspired by her journey, became advocates for social justice and equality, ensuring that Grace's legacy would continue for generations. At the organization's launch event, Marcus spoke proudly of his mother. "She showed us that no matter where you start, your potential is limitless if you have the courage to stand up for what's right." After her retirement, Grace remained deeply connected to the employees at Paramount Enterprises and the broader community she had helped uplift. She frequently visited the office, not as an overseer, but as a mentor and friend to those seeking guidance. Her wisdom was sought after not only by corporate leaders, but also by individuals just starting their careers. One day, Evelyn Harper, the chairwoman of the board who had initially recognized Grace's potential, invited her to address a gathering of rising leaders from across the industry. In her speech, Grace emphasized the importance of seeing beyond appearances. "Every individual carries a story," she said. "When we dismiss someone based on their role or status, we miss the chance to see their true value. My journey taught me that leadership isn't about power. It's about service, integrity, and the courage to lift others as you rise. Her words earned a standing ovation, solidifying her place as a thought leader in workplaces equality and ethical leadership. The Grace Evans Initiative, which began as a modest nonprofit, quickly gained traction and expanded globally. The organization partnered with corporations, governments, and educational institutions to create pathways for underprivileged individuals to enter the workforce. Through the initiative, thousands of scholarships were awarded, mentorship programs flourished, and marginalized voices found platforms to be heard. Grace's story became a cornerstone of the initiative's messaging, proving that resilience and opportunity could overcome systemic barriers. One of the most significant programs the initiative launched was the Second Chance Project, aimed at helping individuals with difficult pasts. Be it homelessness, incarceration, or job displacement, reintegrate into society and thrive in meaningful careers. Grace often met with program participants, offering them encouragement and sharing her journey. From his prison cell, Richard Carlton couldn't escape the story of Grace Evans. He saw her name in headlines, her face on magazine covers, and her speeches circulating on social media. The woman he had once mocked had risen to heights he never imagined while he languished in disgrace. Years into his sentence, Richard requested a meeting with Grace. Against the advice of many, Grace agreed, believing in the power of redemption. They met in a small, sterile room, the contrast between their paths starkly evident. "I've had a lot of time to think," Richard began, his voice heavy with regret. "I was blind to so much, your potential, my own greed, and the damage I caused. I can't undo the past, but I want to say, I'm sorry." Grace studied him for a moment before responding. "Forgiveness isn't mine to give. It's something you have to earn through your actions. But I appreciate your words, and I hope you use this time to become a better man." The meeting marked a turning point for Richard, who began mentoring younger inmates, teaching them about the consequences of unethical choices. As the years passed, Grace's children, Marcus and Ava, took up the mantle of her work. Marcus became a lawyer advocating for workplace equality, while Ava pursued a career in social entrepreneurship, focusing on creating inclusive business models. Together, they expanded the Grace Evans Initiative, introducing technological solutions to bridge gaps in access to education and employment. The siblings often reflected on their mother's journey, using her story to inspire their work. "We grew up watching our mom face challenges most people couldn't imagine," Marcus said at a leadership conference. "She taught us that success isn't about climbing the ladder alone, it's about bringing others with you." Paramount Enterprises continued to thrive under Grace's influence, with the culture of respect and accountability she implemented becoming a model for other corporations. Her story was taught in business schools, and her name became synonymous with ethical leadership. To honor her contributions, Paramount Enterprises established the Grace Evans Leadership Academy, a program dedicated to training future leaders in the principles of integrity, empathy, and inclusion. Grace herself taught the inaugural class, sharing her insights with a group of wide-eyed young professionals. In her later years, Grace often reflected on the twists and turns of her life. She wrote a memoir titled "Sweeping the Floor to Shaping the Future," which became a bestseller and was adapted into a documentary. The film, narrated by Grace herself, chronicled her rise from a cleaning lady to a globally respected leader and the lessons she learned along the way. When asked in an interview what she hoped her legacy would be, Grace replied, "I want people to remember that every individual, no matter their background or circumstances, has value. If my story inspires just one person to see the potential in someone else, then I've done my job." Grace's influence extended far beyond the confines of her work and her local community. After her passing, organizations worldwide began adopting the principles she had championed. Her name became synonymous with the ideas of inclusivity, dignity, and ethical leadership, inspiring a global movement toward workplace equity. Leaders across industries shared stories of how Grace's journey had inspired them to rethink their approaches. Companies implemented policies that prioritized respect and collaboration, often citing Grace's example as their foundation. In a special session at the United Nations, Grace's work was recognized with a posthumous award for her contributions to global workforce empowerment. Marcus and Ava accepted the award on her behalf, delivering a heartfelt speech that left the room in tears. "My mother believed in the potential of every person," Ava said. "She taught us that no job is sole, no person is invisible, and no dream is too big." Her life was a testament to the extraordinary power of seeing the worth in others. To ensure her work endured, the Grace Evans Initiative expanded its mission and evolved into the Grace Evans Institute for Leadership and Equity. The institute partnered with international organizations to provide training, scholarships, and resources for aspiring leaders from underserved communities. One of the institute's flagship programs, Pathways to Leadership, became a global success, helping thousands of individuals, many from backgrounds similar to Grace's, achieve leadership roles in various industries. The program included mentorship from executives, practical business education, and a focus on fostering empathy and ethical decision-making. The Institute's headquarters featured a life-sized mural of Grace, surrounded by symbols of her journey: a mop and bucket, a stack of financial reports, and a globe representing her global impact. Visitors from around the world came to the Institute to learn, reflect, and draw inspiration from her story. Over the years, countless individuals who had been touched by Grace's work shared their stories. A single mother named Elena, who had risen from working as a janitor to managing an entire department, credited Grace's teachings for giving her the confidence to pursue her dreams. "She made me believe that my worth wasn't tied to my job title," Elena said during an event celebrating Grace's legacy. "Because of her, I dared to dream bigger." Another story came from a young man in Africa who had received a scholarship through the Grace Evans Initiative. Now a successful entrepreneur, he used his platform to uplift others, creating job opportunities and educational programs in his community. "Grace Evans showed me that it doesn't matter where you start. It's about where you're going and who you help along the way," he said. Marcus and Ava carried on their mother's legacy with unwavering dedication. Marcus's legal expertise helped the Institute influence policy changes, ensuring better protections for low-income workers and marginalized groups worldwide. Ava's innovative approach to social entrepreneurship expanded the Institute's programs, integrating technology to reach even more people. The siblings often spoke about their mother at events, sharing anecdotes that highlighted her strength, humor, and unwavering belief in the power of kindness. "She didn't just talk about making the world better," Marcus said during a keynote speech. "She lived it every single day, in every action she took." Grace's story became a symbol of hope for people everywhere. Books, documentaries, and films were created to capture her journey, ensuring her legacy reached future generations. Schools added her story to their curricula, teaching students the importance of resilience, empathy, and courage. At Paramount Enterprises, her name became synonymous with integrity. Employees often referred to the company as Grace's Place, a testament to the cultural transformation she had inspired. The annual Grace Evans Award, given to an employee who demonstrated exceptional leadership and compassion, became the company's most prestigious honor. Decades after her passing, Grace's influence continued to ripple through the world. Her journey from cleaning lady to CEO wasn't just a story of personal triumph. It was a blueprint for creating a better, more equitable society. At her statue in her hometown, visitors often left flowers, letters, and tokens of gratitude. One note, written by a young girl, read, "Thank you, Grace, for showing us that we can be anything, no matter where we start." Because of you, I believe in myself. And so, Grace's legacy lived on, a shining reminder that courage, kindness, and determination can change the world, one life at a time. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more powerful and uplifting content. Share this video with your friends and family to spread the message of resilience and hope. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.